You like speed, so do I. In fact, speed and tech, the things are related, right? Everything has to get faster, it has to get better. External storage speed. Today I'm showing you what I think is the fastest portable SSD that plugs in over USB. And it also happens to be tiny. Anyway, this guy here, it's the T5 portable SSD. It's brand new, it just came out. This is the 500 gigabyte version. You can get it up to 2 terabytes, though it does get expensive. This one is probably the value point. I'll have the link to this in the description, but by the time you get up to 2 terabytes, it's like $800, so keep that in mind. It happens to use USB Type-C for the interface. What's cool about that is it doesn't just hook up to Windows or Mac, but also Android. Now, as you know, phones like the Galaxy S8 have a Type-C connector, so now this media that's on here is not only available to your laptop, but available to your phone as well. If you got some movies on here, music, whatever, single cable, it's really incredible. Powers the drive. I mean, we're living in the future. Okay, cool. Up to 540 megabytes per second transfer speed using USB 3.1 Gen 2. Also, a shock-resistant structure. Let's check this little guy out. Ooh, that is tiny. Look at that little guy. Wow. And that's it. All you need on this thing is a single USB-C port. Okay, also in the package, a little bit of paperwork, a couple of cables. So this one is C to C, and then a Type-C to a classic USB if your laptop is rocking the old school connector. For the purpose of this test, I'm gonna use this MacBook. This is the latest MacBook Pro. Drive can go in over here. Also, worth mentioning, there is an LED indicator on there. It'll show activity and of course the fact that the drive is connected and has power. Now I've got 2 separate apps here to test the speed of this drive for read and write. The AJA system test and the Blackmagic disk speed test. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, close. Getting 478 over here on the write speed. Now let's check out the read speed. Ah, okay, 510. Well, I'd say we're in the wheelhouse. I mean, we're around 500 megabytes per second on both, and that's for a 5 gigabyte file. If you take a look at the specs here in the disk speed test, you can see the various resolutions. Of course, you can imagine the type of data that we're talking about necessary to edit those resolutions. So we can go all the way down here to like 2160p or 4K, and you can see that this drive has enough speed to write and read 422HQ ProRes in 4K at 30 frames. And if we travel along this little grid, it can even do Cinema DNG RAW. You could edit 4K RAW footage on this little drive. Okay, so next let's do the AJA system test to see if it matches with the Blackmagic test. And it's almost identical. All right, now the last test I want to run is just copying to the drive. So here's some video files from one of our shoots. It's about 30 gigs for a front-facing angle, which is ProRes. Okay, let's see how long it's gonna take to copy a 33 gigabyte video file right onto this drive here. And it's gonna take about a minute, just under 34 gigabytes of footage from the local drive here onto the SSD. There you go, bingo, transferred over. How convenient is that? All right, so here's the thing. Do you need the T5? Is it for you? Well, I think you probably already know that. If you're moving around large amounts of data, you can see a huge advantage in having a drive like this. You can save a ton of time. It's also so compact. There's of course no moving parts because it is an SSD. Personally, I think this is gonna be popular mostly for multimedia individuals like myself. I can see this thing being useful around the office. I can't think of a faster way to move large amounts of data around without some sort of network setup or something like that. With this here, I could just quickly pass some footage over to someone, and as you saw earlier, I can put a 30 gigabyte clip on here in under a minute, so an entire project could get on there in about 10 minutes, and then boom, pass it to someone else, and they can start editing on this thing right away. That's why you pay the price. If you land on that page and you're wondering why, that's the reason why.